I just finished finals, took my flight back home, so now I actually have like a real microphone to use, which is pretty exciting. But a couple weeks ago, I'm putting this one aside for a while, but a couple weeks ago, my roommate, that's the youngest sibling of two, asked me to make a topic be about being the oldest brother of my family. Um, Now, me personally, I think he should have asked this question to his own brother because I think this topic can definitely vary from person to person or family to family. But at the same time, I think it might be valuable to share my own experience in case, maybe you don't talk to your brother. But to start, I want to say, like, I think this is pretty obvious, and as a younger brother, you probably see this yourself. But for me, I feel like I have to be the best example I can, right? Now, oftentimes, like this is actually very recent, like maybe like last summer, even winter break, my dad would be like, "Okay, everyone, it's time to go to sleep," and I would move because I'm on break, right? So I'm just doing whatever. And then my younger siblings would actually look at my dad and tell him like how come Dylan gets to stay up and I don't? And my dad's like, he's an adult, he can make his own decisions and do what he wants. But really, uh, to me, that's like it had me thinking like, wow, why am I awake this late? What? Why don't I go to sleep and get to work early or get to do something early tomorrow morning, like go to the gym or something? And so then it's like, dang, like this is why that they think it's okay to stay up that late is because that's what I'm doing. And so I think that's you have to, as the older sibling, you kind of have to look at yourself like you're raising the other children as well. Right? So sometimes I will do things to like I'll work really hard to get into a good college and get a good GPA, and then I'll work really hard in the gym or in a sport to kind of create that template for what the rest of my family can be and have them know that they can be better than that, right? Um, Oftentimes, I think, as a younger, I mean, I don't know personally, but as a younger sibling, you might feel pressured to kind of copy that and meet that expectation that we put. And I know some younger siblings surpass that a lot, and other siblings don't really reach that, and it feels bad for them. But I don't think that makes you any less of a son, of a brother, uh, of a student, athlete, whatever. But I think, you have your own path, and you shouldn't really compare it to your older sibling because he was raised very differently than you were, and you're also raised differently than he was. And so, uh, as an older sibling, I don't want that to be a basis of comparison, but I want that to be something that you look at and it makes you say, dang, I want to go to the gym today, or dang, like I need to do good on this test, or something like that, because I don't want it to be me personally. I don't want it to be uh, like a numbers game. I think it's more fulfilling to me. It's more fulfilling to see my younger siblings do better than me in sports that I played, or have better grades than I did when I was their age, or maybe do a club that I never did, things like that, because not only does it prove to me that they're trying to be their own person, which is what I want, but they're also doing things that I maybe didn't do that I regret not doing. And so it's like if I miss that opportunity, I'm glad that people that look up to me do not miss the opportunity as well. And so then, as the oldest sibling, I feel as though I have to kind of set that first bar, right? Because I feel like that bar has to be raised over time uh, by my younger siblings. And simultaneously, I need to be raising that bar myself every day because, once I go to college into my own life, like, I think that still has an influence on what my younger siblings see. And in that, I feel as though I need to I can't just leave that bar where it was when I was 18 and still lived here. And so I think if I did that, then they would get complacent because they saw me being complacent, so they think it's okay because I'd already got into college and stuff. But that's really not the case. I think being an older brother is a lifelong journey of essentially being an inspiration and kind of being the, I guess, the third parent that grew up in the same generation as the brothers. So you have to be not only nurturing like a parent, but also understanding of current societal roles and things like that. Um, and I think younger siblings may think this is kind of difficult, but I think a lot of older siblings would say they don't want it any other way. For me personally, I think this is a very noble honor to have, and like I said, it varies family to family, person to person. So if you do have an older brother, I would definitely ask because I think this is a very differing perspective between each person. And then my third point comes down to how, as oldest sibling, uh, my parents and grandparents, whatever, they made the most mistakes on me out of everyone else. And sometimes that may be seen as like a tragedy, maybe. But for me personally, I wouldn't want it any other way. Um, I think those mistakes shape me into who I am, shape me into the forgiving person that I am. And it's like such an honor to have taken that bearing so that uh, my three younger siblings did not have to as much. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think as a younger sibling, you don't even see that perspective. And so oftentimes, uh, oftentimes the older brother may, when I was growing up at least, I compared how I was treated when I was younger to how my younger siblings are treated. And I used to think it was unfair because I thought that, you know, it wasn't fair that I was, it was a very imbalanced, it felt imbalanced to me. But now I realize that I should be proud that my younger siblings get to grow up uh, with more experienced parents and parents that are better attuned to how to manage certain emotional situations. And so, uh, quite truthfully, that's something that I've learned to appreciate over time, and it took a long time to see it that way. But uh, as a younger sibling, I think it's important to definitely try to get that perspective out of your older brother because it's there, and oftentimes that kind of conversation never comes up, and it's sometimes a hard conversation. If you fight with your brother all the time, or maybe he's in college, you don't really talk that much. I think it may be valuable to just have that maybe 5 minute, 10 minute conversation and just see where he stands with something like this because, like I said multiple times, my stance may be different than your brother's and your family's. So it's very valuable to learn that. Uh, so this is a really nice topic. Really, really different from like self growth and more of just a personal story, which was really fun. But aside from that, I'm excited to get into different types of content and hope you guys like what I got in store coming up.